All right. AJ Armstrong trial. Third trial. Third time's the charm. So he either gets freed, he's 23 years old, or he goes to jail forever, or, you know, maybe even worse if he's convicted. Texas is a death penalty state. Do I believe in capital punishment? Well, I mean, it could be more taxpayer efficient just to kill some, you know, kill criminals. I mean, it could be. We kind of have a nice criminal system, criminal justice system. We kind of have a one that's a little bit too woke, too friendly. I mean, they still have crappy jails. I mean, it's not exactly paradise, but they're starting to construct the new prisons into rehab centers, basically, like jail to work kind of, kind of deals. In countries like the Russian Federation and Asian countries like China, major world powers, they don't fuck around with criminals. They send them to work camps. And so, yeah, they don't fuck around. They don't fuck around with woke shit. They don't fuck around. They don't fuck around with humanitarian shit. They just they either, you know, execute them, or they put them into gulags, which are like these prison camps, and work them to death, you know, on mining or whatever, like North Korea. And so they don't really treat prisoners very well. Like in the United States, somebody in jail or a pen, they get like, you know, fucking pizza day or some shit. They get like, they can trade ramen noodles and cigarettes, and they can even make juice wine. You know, they can watch TV. You know, I mean, even like in the Supermax, they can get a TV and books. So, yeah, I mean, we have a generous jail system in America, a generous law system, really, compared to other countries. It's rather humane for the most part. So, yeah, there's been a lot of hubbub about people dying in jail. Well, you know, people die. And then number two, it's not supposed to be a pleasant place. It's not supposed to be like, oh man, I can't wait to go back to jail. That was awesome. Like, you know, like it's a ride at Astroworld or Disney World. Yeah. Jails are not supposed to be pleasant places. They're supposed to be ghastly. The food is supposed to be terrible. You know what I mean? The people are supposed to be intimidating. It's supposed to be like, oh shit, I'm in jail. Like, I probably need to think my life over, right? Oh, well, I'll never do that again. That's what jail is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be heaven or something like that. So, I don't know. Maybe they should. I guess they still have like chain gangs and stuff, right? Like working prisoners, but they may do that less. But they used to in this country, like put the criminals to work. But you know, then you got to have like a whole bunch of guards, and it's probably expensive, right? To have a whole bunch of guards with guns and making sure people don't get out of their shackles and all that bullshit. It's probably a pain in the ass, you know, watching a whole group of. I mean, I guess if you got enough shotguns and stuff, but still, it's a pain in the butthole. So, AJ Armstrong, third trial. Yeah. The other two trials, he was acquitted. I'm sorry, it was hung juries. If he was acquitted, he would be in third trial. So, two hung juries so far. Not able to convict him. What's the kind of complication in this sort of case? Well, if you're young and you live with your parents and you have two other siblings, let's say, so you have a brother and a sister, right? It's like your parents end up shot dead. So the problem for the jury is, hey, okay, why would someone kill their parents? That's their like first problem. Second problem is there's no forced entry, so it's not someone breaking in to the home of Antonio Armstrong Senior. So those are like two fundamental problems. Is that it's like it's hard to convict somebody of an inside job. I'm not saying it's like the perfect crime. I'm just saying like so. Probably what the jury would need to know more of is there any trouble in the home life? Is there a great point of contention? Is he going to school? Is he just going around, chasing poo nanny? Is he just trying to get laid? Like, is he doing drugs? Is he an outstanding student? They would need to know stuff like that and have that as part of the truth of the evidence. So, was Antonio Armstrong Senior, was he really hard on his son, to straighten up or something if he was a bad kid? And so all that would have to come out in the courtroom for the jury to make a informed and intelligent decision about this case. Right, and oh, hold on.
Artificial intelligence themselves. NBC's Morgan Radford reports. This is not your typical summer camp. Instead of roasting marshmallows, these high schoolers at Princeton University's AI for All camp are programming drones. Artificial intelligence. You all learned all of this just in 3 weeks. Yes, we did. It's incredible. Here, they learn how robots move and think, and even teach drones how to map out areas on their own. So they can do things like monitor forest fires in places humans can't reach. Like the tree to detect certain activity. It also started back in 2015 at Stanford University as a way to close the gender gap in the artificial intelligence field. Now, it's designed to encourage women and students of color, reaching more than a dozen college and university campuses across the country from together. There's a lot of fear around AI right now, and it's a part of what's driving a lot of people away. Young people also look like that. They don't have a career to hold that work and look at. And what we try to do is to address those.
All right. Boo-boo.
Why some of the technology is here. And in a data-driven industry, the data is striking. Job listings for generative AI have increased more than 540% in the last 3 years. But industry-wide, women make up just 30% of AI workers. Do you see an article that everyone looks like you? Looks like you need to with us.
Dun, dun, dun. All right. All right. Wow, the NBC has gone like super woke lately. They're probably prepping up for the 2024 election, trying to get the Democrats back into power. If they can maintain, I don't know if they'll be able to, especially with old fart in charge. The Biden-Harris administration. So, anyhow, it was just about the news article was, or the news segment was about the artificial intelligence summer camp, but it wasn't like focusing on white males. It was just all on this woke tear about diversity and or AI and all that. You can do a liberalistic program to try to make people equal, but people will have different aptitudes and different. There'll be people that are smarter than other people, you know. And so, I mean, it's a liberal project trying to create equality or something, but you can create equality of opportunity, but not outcome, you know. So that's the only catch in society's liberal project. In society's current, obviously obsessive and kind of neurotic quest to make everyone equal. It's like kind of, I'm not saying they should give up, just say we'll never be equal. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying like it's kind of a foolish project. Because people are not equal under the law, yes, but not equal in aptitudes or abilities. That would be a boring world. So you'd have like smart people, rich people, poor people, middle class. You have like different kinds of people. And see, that keeps everything very exciting. Keeps things fresh, dynamic. But if everybody was equal, then people would just be a bunch of robots or something, or insects. And that's not good. So they say on the panel on KPRC2 Channel 2 News, which is going like really extremely woke. Yeah, that could just be like a policy shift. Like they were like, hey, we better line up with the Bidens and like line up with the Democrats. And so that's their like kind of pre-2024 prep. But if they're on the wrong side, if they're not going to win, then they just wasted their whole, effort. But who knows? Maybe they don't care. Maybe the media is like, well, we'll just shift where the power winds blow, and we don't really care. That could be a possibility. So, AJ Armstrong. Yeah. Antonio Armstrong Jr., otherwise known as AJ. Did he kill his parents? Well, he has a brother. I don't know about him. What, he has a sister too, right? Or at least has a brother. So if you look, all you have to do is like, if you want to know like, motive for a crime, well, I mean, Q bono, right? Who benefits? Who benefits from people being dead? Right? Well, if you benefit from people being dead, that means like what? Like your parents, right? Because they have like an inheritance, some of them. And they might have a lot of money, right? So in the net worth, it goes anywhere from $1 million to $5 million for Antonio Armstrong Senior. So maybe Junior thought, well, if I take out my parents, maybe I'll get, $4 million or something. And I can live happily ever after with my bitches, and then I can have everything. Now, yeah, you'd have to be a pretty cold-blooded psychopath to kill your parents for money. But stranger things have happened, right? I mean, that's a motive. And you also have like envy, like rappers kill each other, right? For, because they're jealous of each other, they're envious, right? I'm not really, am I jealous or envious of people? I mean, even if it's like the guy who's like really wealthy and he comes in his, I don't know, Corvette or Lexus or whatever, his Porsche, and he rolls up with the hottest wife or something, and he's got like 4 kids. Maybe I'll be like, oh, that guy's, oh, I'm jealous, I'm envious, but not really though. Like at a certain point, you're like, hey, I love who I am, you know. And no, you can't have anything. There's nothing. We already had a banana. You're not getting anything else. Mm-mm. No, you're not getting anything else, Lou. Go lay down. Mm-mm. No, you're not getting nothing. You already had a banana. If you're hungry, eat your puppy chow. All right. So dogs try to beg too much for food lately, and I'm like, dude, stop that. Hey, you're not getting food. You eat your puppy chow. You're hungry. It's not dinner time yet. Okay. I love you, Angelique. You're sweet. But you need to stop that begging shit. You're not getting anything right now. You can't always get what you want, dog. My dog just wants to eat all the time, and then she's like trying to beg and pout more to get more food. She's just getting more like decadent and more bratty as she gets older, unfortunately. So she's like, "Oh, if I just scream and pout, I'll get my way, like a girl, like a pretty girl, like a mama's, like a like the daughter's, the father's daughter, It's like, man, I want my new toy. I'm like, come on, dude. So yeah, I mean, I guess in a certain perspective, let's say socioeconomically, you would be jealous of someone, maybe, especially if they rubbed it in, like, ha ha, I have a hot bitch, and they're like rubbed it in. You're a loser, huh? Like somebody that's like, oh, I got a nice house, and they're like, just really, really going. I mean, if they're just getting like, fucking obnoxious, yeah, man. I mean, not. It doesn't mean that I'll be like jealous or envious. It doesn't mean they'll get a rise out of me. It'll just be like, I'll just be like, what a fucking ass, what a fucking prick. Oh, look, it's an asshole. There he is. Look at him. He's an asshole. He's just like, so, though. That's why they call them trophy wives, right? Because they're trophies. They're dime pieces. So is $1 to $5 million the team on KPRC is like, why would he kill his parents? Okay. But if his dad is rich from playing the NFL, if he's got a few $1,000,000, that's enough motive, isn't it? It's got all the hallmarks. It's got jealousy, hatred. You got big chunk of money. All right. Now, if my mother unfortunately leaves this world, all right, as everyone eventually does, uh, you know, then she might leave me whatever she has. And I don't think, you know, and I'm going to be eternally grateful for the rest of my life. Yeah, hopefully she's got a few, hopefully she's got like, I don't know, maybe another 20 years or something. So hopefully not less, but who knows what's going to happen. So all these, like woke ass, like newscasters are like, why would he kill his parents? He's a young black African American man. He's such a clean act. Like he's done no wrong. He's done no wrong. He might, I'm not the judge and the jury. I'm not convicting him. He's not on trial with me. The case is not decided by the public's opinion about it. It's decided by the law, by the court, the judge and the jury. And all I'm saying is they keep saying there's no motive. Well, how do they know there's no motive? How can they definitively say there's no motive? Do they know about the home life of the Armstrongs? Was it peachy clean? Was it, or was it, boy, you better get a job or you're out of here, Or was it, something like that? And, boy, get your act together, right? And go to school and, yeah, get off drugs or get off booze or whatever the case may be. But you got to explore the options. I don't know what my dog wants. I'm not cooking anything right now. I was just making tea. Oh, well. Let's, what, you want mignon? You go, bub. Now, would a not so good friend would they ever kill me? All right. Well, if I get the hot blonde babe, and I get 3 children or something, and I've got a nice house and I've got plenty of money, who knows? They might say, "Man, that guy's just too lucky. I'm envious. I'm jealous of him. I'm going to kill him." Knowing full well they could get in trouble, knowing full well that they could spend the rest of their lives in jail, but he would do it just for spite, just because they wanted to hurt me, right? So if AJ Armstrong Jr. had animosity against his father like that, some real animosity, like, oh, you tried to take my home away from me, oh, you kicked me out of your house, or whatever. Oh, you tried to make me get a job, or etc. Or, you wouldn't let me see my girlfriend, or it could be a million things. You didn't pay for the school that I wanted to go to, or it could be a million fucking things. Anything like that. Or, oh, I didn't really want to get off drugs. Oh, well, I'm addicted, so, well, if I get $3 million from my dad, I might be able to get some more drugs or something, So saying that there's no motive is like, how do you know there's no motive? I mean, was it really a beautiful relationship with no cracks in it at all? So, it's kind of like, hey, a crackless relationship, totally squeaky clean, wonderful relationship, totally legit, 100% love, no hate, just all just beautiful father and son, fishing together and going to the baseball games and just, going out to eat, and it's just all lovely. There's no problems. Could be, but anyways, the jury and the judge in Houston, Texas, as I said before, the case is not up to me. It's not up to the media either. The case is decided by the judge and the jury and the lawyers, and the lawyers represent the case, represent the client, the defendant, and the prosecution. So the defense and the prosecution. So yeah. So they'll find him they'll acquit him, which means they don't have sufficient evidence that they don't have a smoking gun, So if they don't have a smoking gun, it's hard to pin him with the death that there's no gun, there's no fingerprints, not sufficient motive. So if the state is unable to prove any of this, then he will be free, and he'll be with his wife, and he'll have children, and I guess he'll get part of that money, right, from his parents. He'll get maybe he already has it already, sharing it with his brothers and his brother. And so maybe he already has $1 to $5 million, and he's already enjoying it and buying a house and making those babies and growing those children. So, yeah. AJ Armstrong Jr., innocent or guilty? I don't know. And the judge is they probably have strict internet rules. They can't watch videos on the case, or they'd be disqualified. So they have to kind of live like hermits while the trial goes forth, and only listen to what the prosecution and defense says. This is like a sensational local trial. It may be more expansive since it's dealing with the National Football League, and also, but this is not the media only sensationalize black and on white crime or white on black crime. They want that racial tension and shit, they love it for, it increases their ratings, to have people fighting with one another based off ethnicity or race, which is foolish, but it makes them wealthier if there's a case. Of course, they're going to pretend like they're shocked. They'll be like, oh no, George Floyd, but they're not going to tell you their dirty secret is that they're getting really rich. People, being interested in their news. So, yeah, that's how the media makes its money. Bad news, dirty laundry, bad deeds. I think most people know that, but perhaps not all. Better get to the day here. God bless and best of success. And, may the truth be found out at the end. And if he's innocent, then may he live a long life with his wife and children. And if he's not innocent, then justice shall be done, whatever that is, whatever the judge decides to sentence him if he is guilty. He may not be guilty. Kind of a interesting case because it is like a classic, it's a very interesting mystery of a whodunit, and the lack of evidence is the intriguing part, because that's big question marks everywhere. All right, peace.